The faithful man that the black woman thinks she won't don't exist with money.
Wait a minute. Hold on. You saying a man with money is not going to be faithful?
It's impossible. Millions of dollars. If you don't touch millions of dollars.
Talk that talk, Charleston.
Yeah. You don't touch. I ain't talking about. The gotta work.
Yeah.
Can't not work for years.
Yeah.
I'm talking about they can go years without working. Still pay bills. Still travel around. He's not gonna. It's impossible.
Hey.
Because if you study history from back when God created, it's only Adam was the only man that did that biblically wise. No other great man of power had one woman that he was bound to death.
I recently said on my podcast, I was like, if you want this rich monogamous man, name me one man over 6 figures that has known to be monogamous.
None.
And they couldn't name
none. No war general, no king, no president, none. It's only the peasant man. It's the man that's considered the peasant who can't do that. But when you reach the level and you call yourself a king, all kings have many women. Since y'all want kings, black women.
Cook, young brother.
All right. How y'all doing out there? This is the Black Effect, the real Black Effect. Shout out to both of those brothers in the video here. I want to get into this. I'm not trying to specifically go at this brother, any one of these brothers, man, but I have to speak truth now, and here we go. What Charleston White is saying is true to a certain extent, but there is exceptions to that. Yeah, there's the exceptions. But what he's saying is true for the most part, but there are exceptions to that. And I'm going to get to where those exceptions are. It's really only, there are exceptions, but the main exception is Christian, God-fearing men, or any man who's in that belief of the God of the Bible. You understand? Those are the men who you can get that will be not only decent men, good men. I'm using quotes, air quotes here, because, the Lord, no one's good but God. But, but men who will try to do the right thing, even when you're not around, those men. And what I mean, I just told you what, and I mean, what was good, because can nobody tell you, like, how is a dude who got multiple wives, who can't control his sexual urges, how is he consider himself good? Like, come on. At the end of the day, like I said, we all fall short of the glory of the Lord. But when you have, like what he's talking, like when you, to be honest, if this is where you have this type, this is the need that arises, like when men start talking like Charleston, when your wife is really not that attractive. I'm just be honest. And I saw Charleston White wife. She looks tired. No disrespect. I mean, you put her on camera. She got in camera herself. And, when Charleston White got busted with I guess that was a woman who worked with him. That's another thing, man. Why you talking with women who you work with? Like, that's, like, you shouldn't do that. You just, like, you lacking discipline is what you're showing. Discipline. But, when your wife got in the camera, man, she looked tired. She looked like, and for you set her up for guys to be able to say things and people to be able to, men and women to be able to judge her, you know what I'm saying? Be like, she ain't hitting on nothing. She must not be hitting it. You know what I'm saying? She must not be doing this. She must not be doing that. Because you see the need to have multiple women. Like you said, Charleston, like, what if you just blew up recently? So you saying if you, because we letting that slide that you just called, the brothers peasants, but we'll laugh at that because, I get what you're trying to say. It's just that one of those typical Charleston White, just more typical Charleston White antics is what I just chalk that to, you know what I'm saying? And, but it's all good. It's like you just got papered up, from doing these antics and ranting and, against celebrities and stuff like that. And some of the stuff you did, like I said, some of the things you say is true. Like a lot of the stuff that you say, I rock with. But when you say that, when you say that what you said, and then you just got papered up, men gonna look at you side eye, bro. They gonna be like, man, come on now. You really, you ain't, you really just talking out like you high side is what we call it, man. Like you high side, bro, and you really make your wife look bad by doing that. You don't do her a serve. You're not doing a virtuous thing by going out and sleeping around on her, like honestly, or you know what I mean, like, or even if she approves or not, like we don't know. You don't know how she truly feels. We could look like you just don't know. And in the Bible, if you really go deeper and expand, if he had expounded more on that, in the Bible, when those men who had multiple wives, they had problems from that. Abraham and Sarah, Hagar, we know, like he had to kick her out, and her son, like he put him, this man kicked his wife and her son out into the wilderness. They were finna die, but God came to them, you understand, and saved them. God himself. Like, you got to think about it. Like, this stuff you doing could create a lot of problems. You already had problems come from this. The Bible explains about a man. It tells us that as men of God, priest of God, and now in the New Testament, we are all priests of God. Jesus Christ died on the cross, made us all priests of God. We can all go out and minister. Like most black men don't even go to church. You understand? They try to duck that and duck the, they can have they've made up their own esoteric way of serving the Lord, like, of living a lifestyle, and just really being whoremonger males. Really, bro, we shouldn't even be, you should have discipline over yourself. I have to keep using that word. You should have mastery of that. In the man Charleston White age, you should have mastered that, bro. If you gotta, and I'm not talking about him, but if you gotta pop Viagra and things like that to get going, or take all these supplements and stuff to get going, you need to stop. Like, I'm not saying you're dead and you need to stop having sex, but you really need to just think and evaluate your life. You have more, you should be suppressed. We all, and when we were young, we had to suppress that. You understand? Like, that's what the Lord tells us to do. We have, like, because when you was young, if your sexual proclivities or certain things get a hold of you, man, like, niggas was doing the most. Men, look at ancient times. Like, men would like, if women were out there, like, and men couldn't, like, it wasn't about going and asking you out on dates and stuff like that. No, men would actually grab a woman, grape her, and they would have to go pay the father and things like that, like marry the woman, because they would have deflowered her, like, and basically ruined her so no one else would have wanted her. I know that's something that's hard to hear for some people who don't understand how societies and things in ancient times worked. And some of these things haven't changed much. Like I said, people haven't changed much. We can say what we want. We have technology, we have internet, and we could do a lot of things. AI is coming up, but human beings in their heart and in their soul and at their core, they haven't changed. They haven't changed. They're still carnal. They still led by basic desires, like I say, and it's just not gonna change. And humans, like, they can get very evil. We can do some evil things, like we've seen it. But to this point, like I say, man, come on now. Not all men who get money gonna cheat on their wife. Look at LeBron James. You have people in the comments in the video or the clip talking about LeBron James. I seen him cheating with it. I seen him doing it. Some guy random under the comments, like, who are you? You're not even a celebrity. Like, why would he be kicking it with you, bro? Like, come on, man. I don't want to hear no conspiracies. We hadn't saw it. With all this video and technology, we would see it. He ain't been out there like that. You have Ice Cube. You got other people. See, the key is men who build their wealth with that woman. You understand? Once they build the wealth with that woman, this solidifies, the bond between them. That's why a lot of women can't get that guy that they want. That's why, because they not willing to build with that man. It don't just work that way. Like, guys resent women, when they work hard and get their money, and I don't blame them for that. Like, I'm not saying everything Charleston White is saying is wrong, but I don't blame them for that. For men who get money, it's hard for them to trust these women because they just really are with you because you got paper. And that's the thing with Charleston White. Like, bro, you the type of guy, this is your wife. Like, you're married. Look at your wife. Like, and I'm saying, and I'm not trying to knock her, man. Listen, but you have to take care of yourself as a woman as well. Like, both of y'all, men and women, you have to keep yourself hot for your partner. You have to keep yourself, and Charleston White is not a traditionally handsome guy. So and look, you looked at him back in the day. This dude was like in hillbilly. He was in some overall. Like, this dude is a country guy. Like, and I'm from Dallas, man. But I can be called country by people out of town, but like, we would call him country. And that's what I'm saying. Like, and I'm not trying to bash him. I'm not gonna give that disclaimer again. We're just speaking truth. Now, with that being said, we know that he wasn't getting many women without money. He's married. That's his wife. Now that you got paper, you just flip the script on her, and she helped you get this stuff. I'm gonna just go run off and give me something else. Like, it's like, man, is your wife sick, or you think she don't have needs? Eventually that takes a toll. Don't matter who you are, you human. It's gonna take a toll. I know I'm pretty sure she tries to stay off the internet. And that's a smart thing. That's a smart thing for you to keep her away from the internet, bro. Like, you should do that. You should have never letting her get on camera. I know she wanted to, but I would just advised against that. Especially in the midst of the scandals and stuff. But a lot of guys, that's why the men with the money, they don't deal with women. Like, they don't just deal with one woman. And it's a liability to them. A lot of women are looking to use them, so it's not even smart, because if you just her pay here and there, bounce around her, and don't really take it serious, that's how you can maintain your assets. And again, a lot of men not gonna get to that level, but see, they have true love. Same way, like, normal women, you might see some women, she not no beauty queen or whatever, but they have true love. They have a family who they can come home to. When they come home, their wife is there, their husband is there. They've done some things around the house. They planning. Things is going like this. They might not be perfect. They might not have everything, but they know that if anything go wrong, they gonna be there. Like, if somebody gets sick, okay, well, I'm here. I'm gonna take up. I'm doing a chicken noodle soup. We making you feel good. I'm calling your mama. This and this. This type of stuff happens. They experience true love. So what's really important? I know that's deep, but what's important to you? Because in the Bible, it says that when there was a rich man who encountered Jesus Christ, he was talking to Jesus, man. He wanted to follow him. He said, he heard the stuff that Jesus said, and it was profound to him. And he had a love for Jesus. He wanted to follow him, but he was rich. And Jesus told him, he asked Jesus, what do I have to do to follow you, man? He said, all you got to do is give up all your money, man, and come. He was like, what do I have to do to make it to heaven and achieve salvation? He was like, you just got to give up what you have and come follow me. Give up your money. And, that hurt him. He turned away and he didn't follow Christ. Hopefully he did later, but in the Bible, it tells you that he did not follow Jesus. He went away and hurt to his heart because his money, his riches, he does not want to give that up. You understand? That's not something he wants that's easy to part with. So having that is kind of like a gift and a curse. You have to have a grounded foundation, which I wrapped out. I said that to bring that all home in saying, if you want a good man in 2023, He has to be a God-fearing man. I'm not talking about a fake preacher, or just a dude playing church or whatever. I'm talking about a man who believes in the gospel and is trying to do God's will for his life. That's it. He doesn't have to be perfect and all that. You're not perfect. You two get together. Y'all can make it work because you need two people working today. You understand? But look, again, I don't just totally what Charleston White says. I agree with to a certain extent, but it's not. First of all, it's just the corrections of not all men. He said that himself. Not all men in the Bible had multiple wives. Just because you call yourself a king, or there isn't any more kings, but I see what you're saying. You mean men with money. If you got men with millions of dollars, unless that woman has built with but you can't speak for all men for one, but unless that woman has built that money with him and stayed with him, like LeBron James' wife, Ice Cube, LL Cool J, look at the examples. Then he's not gonna stay with her. Like, he's not gonna have a woman. He is gonna have multiple wives, and really, we all have multiple wives. Not all of us, but a lot of us, because y'all have multiple baby mamas. The consummation of marriage is the sex. Y'all had a baby. Like, that's your wife, nigga. You didn't have to go, don't marriage license or nothing like that. So even the peasants, as you say, Charleston, they have multiple wives. And rich guys, like I say, it's really a trust issue as well, because it's not a virtue to have to sleep with multiple people all the time, you know what I'm saying? And to get your rocks off, sleep with a new one and using people's body. Like, you have to transcend that, and once you do that, like, it's not, the Bible tells you to leave your wife. Sometimes y'all might even part ways. And why does it, and not have sex? Why? Because y'all coming closer to Christ, coming closer to God. So y'all don't hear me though. With that being said, I'm gonna end it there. This is the Real Black Effect. I'm going.